Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome back. Yeah, can you see my screen, everyone? Everyone able to see
Yes.
my screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ram.
Yeah. Sure.
Fine. So everyone created the account, AWS account. Any challenges, anyone? Any issues while getting account? If the account is not created, you can create by today itself. Okay. So because yeah, this console interaction is very very important, right? Once we start working on services, we need to practice daily basis, right? So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to work on services. How to create instances, how can we connect instances, how can we deploy the packages and instances, right? Yeah, so tomorrow onwards we'll start working on that. So today also we can walk through the console, what are the things available, we'll try to understand today. Fine. Yeah, daily basis everyone should practice. Today also same link is allowed from tomorrow onwards. So make sure everyone should add into the group. So tomorrow onwards the link will not work. This link will not work. Okay. So tomorrow link will be changed. So let us go and yeah, walk through the console. So few more services are there, important services. I wanted to show you. So before going to work on services, yeah. So aws.ms is the URL. So click on sign into the console. Give the email address. So you need to select root account only. Give the email address. Now give password. Now I'm able to log in into my console. Can you mute everyone? Some background noise is coming here. Can you mute everyone? Yeah. So we already walked through compute services EC2, Sheikh and Beneval. So can you mute yourself? Some background noise is coming here. Yeah. Fine. So compute services and management and governance, monitoring services, auto scaling, right? We discussed already, right? Yeah. So today, first we are going through networking services. Okay, networking. So here we have VPC. So what is network? What is networking? Anyone? Yesterday we discussed. Day before yesterday we discussed, right? What is networking? What is network? It's a communication between yeah devices or servers, right? Yeah. So here by using VPC we can create our network, right? So VPC is a virtual private cloud. So in real-time projects we use our own network, custom network. So why we require custom network to control the inbound and outbound traffic, right? So you can customize our network. Fine. So I give you a few examples here. AWS regions and zones. So current now we are talking about VPC. So where we create VPC and what is region, what is zone. So why we require regions, zones, we'll try to understand. Okay. Yeah. For example, this is our data center. This is our Mumbai data center, for example. So this is Mumbai data center. What is data center, anyone? What is data center?
Collection of
Data
servers.
servers.
Here we host all the
Where we
servers.
Right.
server
Here we,
room.
yeah.
where
server
we
node, right?
host all the servers.
Yeah, fine. So in Mumbai data center, we have, this is the data center, is it? Yeah, this is Mumbai region. Region is a data center. Okay. So Mumbai region is a data center. Fine. So instead of the, yeah, you can say Mumbai region here. Region is a data center. Fine. Yeah. So under this region, again we'll be having availability zones. Availability zones. So Mumbai region is the main data center. So under this data center, again we have another data centers which we can call it as availability zones. So this is a availability zone, zone 2A and a 2B and 2C. Right. So this is Hyderabad availability zone, for example. This is Hyderabad. This is Bangalore. This is Chennai. Three different availability zones. Okay. Yeah. So what is availability zone? What is the use of availability zone? We'll try to understand now. Okay. So region is a main data center. Under this region, we have availability zones. What is availability zone? What is the use of availability zone? We'll try to understand. Fine. Yeah. Availability zone also a data center. Region is a data center. Availability zone also a data center. What is the use of availability zones? What is availability zone? So availability zones are, we can say, DR data centers. What is DR data center? What is DR? Disaster recovery data center. These three are, these three data centers are disaster recovery data centers, right? Yeah. So I give you a small example here. In 2016, major floods happened in Chennai. Major floods happened. By the time most of the IT area affected, most of the IT companies shut down. So everywhere water, right? Yeah. So in companies, data centers also water flowing by the time, right? Yeah. By the time most of the IT companies shut down, most of the data centers also shut down, right? Yeah. By the time our AWS data center also shut down. If the data center is shut down, this Chennai data center is shut down, whatever applications are running on this data center, whatever servers are running on this data center, whatever databases are running on this data center, everything will be shut down, right? So that what will happen? Client business will be impacted, right? So when the data center is down, client business will be impacted. Fine? Yeah. So this data centers normally, when they want to build data centers, they check 100 years of historical data. If any floods are happening frequently, any earthquakes are happening, any terror attacks are happening, so they check all these things before building before configuring these data centers, before establish the data center, right? Yeah. So few years back, they planned one data center in Vizag, Visakhapatnam. So after Hudut, they cancelled that. Hudut happened, right? In Vizag. Major, yeah, that is major disaster happened in Vizag. So after that, they cancel that in Vizag and they move to Kolkata. So one more data center is in Kolkata currently, right? Yeah. So these data centers are very critical data centers. So this we can access from anywhere, globally accessible, right? Yeah. So if the Chennai data center is down, whatever database are running, whatever applications are running, everything will be down, right? Yeah. So if the applications are down, definitely client business will be impacted. That is why to avoid that, this data centers will help you, DR data centers. So in case one data center is down, what will happen? Automatically, the applications, the databases, the servers will be accessible from nearby edge location, other data center, right? So here every 2 minutes, the data will be replicated from one data center to other data centers. These are the DR data centers, right? Yeah. So within these three data centers, the data will be replicated like this every 2 minutes. Okay. So in case one data center is down, Chennai is down, data will be accessible from Hyderabad. Data will be accessible from Bangalore. So when the Chennai data center was down, by the time, yeah, so by the time when floods happened, by the time our employees, Chennai employees, they moved from Chennai to Hyderabad, they work from here, right? So by the time the applications accessible from Hyderabad, all the applications. So whoever working on that applications, they don't know which from where we are accessing, right? So automatically it will switch. So this configurations will be configured by AWS only. We don't need to worry about. So this region configurations, zone configurations, configured by AWS only. You don't need to worry about. Okay. So under this availability zone, what we will do as a DevOps engineer, we create one VPC that will be taken care by DevOps engineers. VPC network, our own network. So instead of the large network, we can create our own network, custom network, right? So for example, in Hyderabad data center availability zone, so multiple projects, multiple companies, they use the resources, right? Yeah. So to customize, to secure our resources, we create our own VPC. What is VPC? Anyone? Virtual Private Cloud, our own network. Here we create VPC and we'll maintain the VPC, right? Yeah. So VPC is a isolated network. So normally other project teams, other companies, they cannot enter into the our VPC. So firewalls will be there, right? We can protect our VPC, our network. So inside of this VPC, we create subnets, subnetting. What is subnet? Anyone? Subnets already discussed. Inside of this VPC, we create subnets.
Small network.
Subnetworks.
Small networks. Yeah.
Yeah, subnet is a subnetwork or small network, right? Yeah. So when we talk about subnets, subnets are two types: public subnet and also private subnet. This is entry question. What is subnet? What is the use of subnet? Types of subnet. So public subnet and also private subnet. What is public subnet? Anyone? Anyone having idea? Yeah. So in public subnet, what we will do? We host public servers. We host public servers. Private subnets, we host private servers. In public servers, we host public applications like google.com, Facebook, YouTube. These are all public applications. So whatever applications we can access through internet, those are public applications, right? But private subnets, private servers, in private servers, we host private applications, right? Which are internal applications within the organization, right? Like time card entries, time card entries. What is time card? Anyone? Time card application. What is time card?
Login and logout
Attendance.
timing.
Attendance, right? So yeah,
We
attendance.
calculate the hours.
Swipe in, swipe out,
Yes.
right? Attendance, right? Yeah, and leave management system. Leave management system. So when you want to apply leave, we can use the internal application to apply the leave in our nation. And Outlook. Outlook is the email system. So Outlook is also internal application. So communicators like Teams, Skype for business, those are all internal applications. Those we can host on private servers. So public servers we can access through internet. Private servers, how can we access? Through intranet. Public servers we can access through internet. Private servers we can access through intranet, right? So for example, when you join into the project, you get one laptop, right? If you want to connect your office network, how can you connect? Anyone? Through VPN, right? Yeah. So from your laptop, first we need to connect VPN. What is VPN? Virtual Private Network. So this VPN will allow you to connect your office network, your private network, right? Yeah. So VPN is a server. VPN is a server. So by using VPN, we can connect our private network, right? Yeah. So the same way, if you want to connect your private applications, we need to connect through intranet within the organization only. Okay. Here there is a interview question. Yeah. So what is subnet? Types of subnets. What is the use of subnet? Subnet is a sub network, small network instead of the large network. So why we require subnets? Why we require subnets? For example, we have 1,000 servers are there, 1,000 servers, right? So in which 300 servers are development servers, 300 servers are QA servers, testing servers, 400 servers are prod servers, production servers, right? Yeah. So if you configure all the servers in one subnet, one network, right? So normally in production servers we use database servers, DB servers, right? Yeah. So DB servers normally we should not allow inbound traffic. If you allow inbound traffic to the DB servers, what will happen? There may be chances to leak the data, right? Used data sets will be there on DB servers. So that is why to control the inbound traffic, we use the sub networks, small networks. So when we create subnet, so the subnet range will be different that we cannot directly enter, right? Yeah. So that is why subnets will help you to control the inbound, outbound traffic. Fine. Yeah. So these subnets are critical production normally in real-time projects. So development and testing and pre-prod and production, different subnets we create. Okay, we restrict the traffic. For example, this is one room, right? So your class is going on. So there one more room is there. Their class is going on, right? We customize this room, right? So if you open this doors, what will happen? Noise will be happen, right? Yeah. To customize our space, we create room here. The same way to customize our servers resources, our network, we create the subnet. Understand, right, everyone? Yeah.
Yes.
Instead of the data center availability zone, we create our own network, which is VPC. Under VPC, we create our subnets, small networks. Under subnets, we create the servers. Instead of the servers, we host our applications, right? So this we will see practically. Practically, we create the VPC, and under VPC, we can create subnets. Subnets under subnets, we can create public servers, private servers also. We can test it out. So public servers we can access through internet. Private servers we cannot access through internet. That is the difference here. Okay. Private servers we can access through intranet. Clear, right? So this is very important concept, very core concept in AWS networking concept. This will take 2 days. Okay. So practically we'll work on this. Fine. Yeah. Any questions here? Anyone? Before moving to next one. Next important concepts.
Ram, I have one question. So,
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
whenever we are creating the VPCs, right? So, we are creating VPC in each of the DR data center, or how does it work?
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So what we are seeing here one VPC is there in Hyderabad location, for example. That VPC replicate to the other zones also. Entire VPC.
Okay,
In case
so it
Hyderabad
will
is down,
replicate.
yes. entire VPC will be replicated, right? So in case Hyderabad is down, our data will be accessible from Bangalore or Chennai, right? Yeah. So here Hyderabad, we have one data center in high-tech city area, backside of TCS, AWS data center, right?
Okay. And this is kind of done by the AWS itself. We don't have to configure VPCs for each and every different locations. We just
No, no,
create in
not
one zone. Okay.
yeah, not required. You get only one VPC. So maintaining VPC is very high pricing. That is why, yeah. So one more entry question. Normally, interviewers ask you how many VPCs you have in your project. That is very common question, right? To test if you have hands-on or not, they will ask this question: how many VPCs you have in your project? Okay, you need to say at one or two VPCs only. Should not tell more than that. If you tell 10 VPCs, 15 VPCs, they easily understand. You don't have any hands-on experience. Okay. So when I take interviews few weeks back, so one guy told that we have 12 VPCs in our project. Okay. So questions will be increased. So what are the environments you have? How many servers you have? What are the project you are handling? Like that, questions will be increased, right? So maintaining VPCs are heavy pricing. That is why every project team they use one or two VPCs only, right? So if you have two VPCs, one is development VPC, one is production VPC, right? So that is very important question. Okay, yeah.
Sir, I have one question. Could you please repeat this subnet part? I missed it actually. I'm not able to understand. Means like I mean
Right,
to say like why public subnet and private subnet? Because you said like you can have only one subnet and you can work it out, but you said like we have to
right,
segregate it through public and private. Could you please repeat that?
right. Yeah, subnet is a subnetwork first of all, right? So why we require public subnet? Why we require private subnet? Okay, so public subnet, we host public applications on public servers, which are like applications like um, company portals, company portals, right? Job portals, company website, right? That they host in public servers. So private applications they host in private servers, private subnet, which are leave management system, time card entries, email system, email application, and the communicators, internal communicators. They host in private servers. So, for example, this is company website. See here, I am able to access through internet, right? So, this is my previous organization. Yeah, previously worked with this organization. This is a public application, right? So, through internet we can access this, right? But internal applications, time card entries, timecard.capgemini.com. This will not be accessible through internet. So when I update my time card, time sheets, so daily basis we update time sheets in real-time projects. Sorry? Yeah, this is internal application. Yes. Internal applications. Yeah, within the organization you can access that. Once you connect your company, your project, your organization network through VPN, then only this will be accessible. Once you connect a VPN, VPN will allow you to enter into your private network, right? Yeah. Clear, right? Someone asked this question.
Yes, sir, it's clear. So, sir, one more question on that only. So when you're creating the VPC, so at that moment, is it a must? Like, we have to get the subnet only then the things will work, or like without subnet also? Imagine we have VPC and it is going to work, or like we must have the subnet as well.
Right. So subnet is mandatory. Subnet is mandatory. Subnetting. So every small startup companies also they're using subnetting. If you have VPC, definitely subnets also required. If you don't have VPC, not required. Subnet not required, right?
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone?
Sir, can you explain that intranet?
Intranet, right? So intranet is nothing but within the organization, within the range, right? So they can communicate within within your project. So intranet means that is your own private network. In that, no one can enter. If you want to enter from your laptop, office laptop, first you need to connect your VPN server. VPN server is a layer, security layer. That will allow you to connect your office network. That is intranet. Intranet means private network, your own network, office network.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi Ram, I have one question. It is
Yeah.
continuation to the previous question. So let's say I'm creating one VPC, and under which you're saying this creating subnet is mandatory, but as per my organizational requirement, I don't want to use any public network. I just want to use it for the internal applications. So is there a
Okay.
possibility to use this VPC completely for the private network?
Yeah, that is possible as per the project requirement. Only you required
Okay.
a private subnet, like yeah. So only internal applications you are using. You are not using any
Yeah.
external application. That is why they can create private subnet within the VPC.
Got it. It can be other way around also, right? I can use it only for the public, and I cannot. I don't want to create any private.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Even
Yeah.
you can use public only also. Public
Okay.
subnet.
Thank you.
Hi, Ram.
Clear, right, everyone?
Yep.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, currently I'm working in a project which we have four instances, dev instance, QA, and IND and production. Then
Okay.
how many VPCs will have?
So you can use one VPC also. Fine. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
Yeah. In one VPC, one subnet also you can use. Or else,
okay,
yeah, as per your requirement, you can create two VPCs and four subnets. As per the requirement, that is depending upon the project requirement. So currently we are
okay,
handling one project which is a DBS project, Singapore project in our nation. So they are using two VPCs. One is public VPC, one is private VPC. Not public, private. So two. One is the development VPC, production VPC. In that public subnet, private subnets also available. Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, hi Ram. Still the doubt is not clear for me. Like as you said, we need to create VPC, right? And you have given the example of like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai. For every 2 minutes, it will replicate. So if we create VPC at one location, then it is fine. It will replicate in the other as well.
Yeah, yeah. That is that is only the functionality here. DR data center means DR means disaster recovery. So entire VPC will replicate to other availability zone. When one zone is down, other zone will take care of the resources. So even though entire region also down, for example, entire Mumbai is down, our data will be accessible from Singapore, nearby edge location. So few months back, one of the data center was down in US. Main region was down. So one of the data center in US here, North California was down few months back. So by the time all the data accessible from North Virginia, right? Yeah. So even the
Okay.
entire region also down, nothing will be happen. Data will be accessible. That configurations will be taken care by AWS only. You don't need to worry about. So AWS is giving very high availability, high security. What is availability? High availability? Yes. So 24 by 7 without any single minute downtime, they provide the resources, right? So because, for example, yeah, banking data, for example, banking data, instance domains, right? Digital applications they are running, right? They are using, customers are using. If the applications are down, business will be impacted, right? And the security also, very high security they are providing, security. So when we are, yeah, when we want to access any applications, when we are connecting a cloud applications, cloud servers, cloud applications, through internet we can connect, right? Through internet. So internet is the most vulnerable network. That is why AWS is giving high security, high availability. Clear, right, everyone? Security is the first concern every customer raises before getting into the cloud platform, right? Next one.
Hi Ram.
Yeah.
So the VPCs will be created by region wise, correct? Not availability zone wise.
Yeah, we can select region. We can select region. But inside of the region, availability zone will be there, right? In that, our VPC will be created. That will replicate to the other availability zones.
So I mean that means so other availability zone also we have to create VPC, correct?
No, 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 no. Only one VPC is there. That will replicate to the other
Okay.
availability zone.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Next one, let us go through another service which is security, identity, and compliance. What is this? We'll try to understand. So here we have main important service which is IAM service. What is IAM? It's a identity and access management. Identity and access management. So when we join into the project, so we connect using IAM account only. We connect our infrastructure using IAM account only. IAM is a IAM is a identity access management. So by using IAM user only, we can access our applications. Okay. So in real-time projects, we don't use root account. So when we log in into the account, when we are trying to log into the account, so it is showing two options, right? Root user, IAM user, right? So in real-time projects, we don't use root user. We always use IAM user, right? From fresher to directors level, everyone use IAM account only, right? IAM, what is IAM? How to create IAM user? How can we assign roles to the IAM account, IAM users? We'll try to understand. We'll see that practically. How can we customize the roles? Next one, storage. See here. In storage, we have different services are there. See here. Yeah. So here, Elastic File System, S3, S3 Glacier, AWS Backup, right? So these are all important storages. Okay. Yeah. So let us go through a few things here. Important one. Very first important storage here is EBS volumes. EBS. EBS full form is Elastic Block Store. Elastic Block Store or storage. Elastic Block Store or block storage. EBS volumes. We can say EBS volumes. Okay. So these are very important volumes. So why we require these volumes? What is EBS volume? We'll try to understand. Yeah. So another one. Let us go through. EBS volumes first we discuss. After that, S3 also required here. S3. S3 is a simple storage service. Next one, EFS, Elastic File System, and Glacier, and Snapshot, and also AWS Backup. These are the storage services we are going to work on one by one. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, we can discuss about this EBS volume. What is EBS volume? So Elastic Block Storage is a block level storage. This is a block level storage. We can create the storage block by block from 1 GB to 1 GB to 16 TB. 16 TB. We can create block by block, and this storage we can attach to the EC2 instance. What is EC2 instance? It is a server. So tomorrow we start this service. Tomorrow we start EC2. Practically we'll see that how to create EC2 instance. So we create a block level storage that we can attach to the server EC2 instance, right? So this storage is very high performance storage. So the storage speed, we can say IOPS, input output per second, 100 by 3000. The speed of your drive, 100 by 3000, right? So this volume speed, IOPS 100 by 3000. So this EVS volumes, we use SSD drives. What is SSD? Anyone? In our laptops also we are using SSD, right?
Solid state
Solid
drive.
state, solid state drive, right? So these are very high performance drives. In EBS volumes, we use the SSD drives. So this we can attach to the EC2 instance, right? So server side, we always use the SSD, and IOPS is 100 by 3000. This is the speed of your drive. It is a block level storage. Okay. Next one, second storage we are going to work on, which is S3. S3 is a simple storage service. So this is not a block level storage. This is a objective storage. We can store any objects like uh, PDFs, video files, audio files, any files we can store into the S3. This storage we can compare with Google Drive, right? So this is a global storage. It is a global storage. When you click on S3, it will show you global. Globally, we can access this storage. So if you create a storage in Mumbai region, you can access from Americas region. You can access from Europe region. It is a global storage. Okay. Next one, EFS. What is EFS? It is a elastic file system. This is a file level storage. File level storage. We can transfer the data from one region to other region, one zone to other zone by using this. Right. Next one, Glacier. What is Glacier, anyone? In general, what is Glacier? Ice water, right? Yeah. So Glacier. So here Glacier is also one of the storage. Yeah. This is mainly for backups and archival. Backup and archive. So we can say this is cold storage. Cold storage, right? What is cold storage? Yeah. Yeah. So Glacier is a cheaper storage, cold storage. So to store the backups, right? So I give you a small scenario. For example, as a DevOps engineer, as a cloud engineer, what we will do, we create infrastructure, we hand over to project team. We get servers as per the project team requirement. We can hand over to project team. That is one of the role. We need to take care of the infrastructure, right? So once we hand over to project team, they start working on the servers. They develop the code, they modify the code, they test the code, they deploy the code, right? So once the project is completed, they ask us to terminate the servers. Terminate. What is terminate? Delete. Right. So once project is completed, they don't require servers. By the time again there is the request for terminating the servers. So by the time we need to terminate the server, at the same time we need to protect the data which is available on the storage. That data we can move to Glacier. Right. So if the data is temporary data, for example, 1 month they required, we can take snapshot. They want to hold more than 6 months, we can move to Glacier. So when we move the data to Glacier, what will happen? The costing will be reduced, right? So here Glacier 1 GB, for example, 1 GB storage, here $1, for example, I'm saying. So whereas the EBS volume, 1 GB storage costing is $20. 20 times cheaper. This Glacier is 20 times cheaper. So that is why once we delete the server, the volume will be available. The volume data we can move to Glacier, right, to reduce the costing. So whenever the project team required, we can archive that and we can hand over to project team. Clear, right? These are the 4 important storages. Next one, snapshot. Snapshot. What is snapshot, anyone? What is snap? Anyone?
Taking
Snap.
picture. Picture.
Picture. Snap is a picture, right? Snap, we can say here, replica. Replica. One copy, right? So on which scenarios we take the snapshots? What are the use of snapshots? We'll try to understand. So snapshot is a replica normally in real-time projects whenever we are going to deploy any applications on production environments, right? So by using DevOps tools, normally we deploy the code, we deploy the applications. So before deploying applications, application team asks you to take one snapshot of the server, right? So when you take the snapshot, so that will convert into one binary format, right? So once we deploy the application, if the deployment is failed, what will happen? Application will not run. By the time, by using the snapshot, we can revert back to original state. Means roll back. We can roll back or revert, both are same. We can bring back to normal state the server. So snapshot is a copy. By using that, we can bring back to original state whenever needed, right? Yeah, so snapshots will take every moment, every day. Will take snapshots. We can configure auto snapshots also. Automatically, it will be happened. Snapshot, right? Yeah. Next one, AWS backup. What is backup? Anyone? Yeah. Backup is nothing but it is a alternate copy. So whatever servers we are using, whatever database servers, whatever application servers we are working on, servers, that may crash any point of time, any moment, any point of time. The server may crash, or hard drive, whatever drive we are using, that may corrupted. Drive may corrupted, right? So by the time, what will happen? The data will be lost, right? So by the time, what we will do, if you configure backups, from backups you can retrieve the data. So when we talk about backups, we use the different types of backups here. Okay, different backup strategies we are using in real-time projects, which are like daily backups, weekly backups, and also monthly backups. And also we have one more backup, which is on-demand backup. These are the 4 types of strategies we use in real-time projects. So daily backups. What is daily backup? Daily, whatever changes are happened, that we can take the backup, right? So this we can say incremental backup. What is incremental? Anyone? Incremental.
It will take the backup of only last modified backup changes.
Last modified the changes, right? For example, yesterday morning 7 a.m. I completed the backup. From yesterday morning 7 a.m. to today morning 7 a.m., whatever changes happened, those will be backup, which is nothing but incremental backup. Whatever changes happened from last taken backup, right? So those will be backup, which is nothing but incremental backup. So for this incremental backup, retention is, what is retention? Anyone? Retention is nothing but
I
time
mean,
period, right?
uh, time
Time
period.
period.
Yeah.
So this incremental backup normally we hold 30 days only. 30 days. We can hold 30 days. From 31 day onwards, what will happen? It will start rewriting the data. It will remove the data, right? Yeah. So normally this daily backups, we take the backup like DNS entries, DHCP configurations, share folders. So these are, I explained this. Okay, don't worry. So just giving overview here. Okay. Yeah. So critical applications also, critical apps also we can take backup into daily backup, right? Yeah, so normally this backup will be started every day at 6 p.m. End up by next day morning 5 a.m. Okay. So why we need to start at 6 p.m.? We can start before also, right? Afternoon also, morning also, right? So daily backups normally starts at 6 p.m. Why we need to start at 6 p.m.? Why can't we start at 11 a.m., 10 a.m.?
After the business hours, only the tech schedule backup.
Right. So off business hours, after business hours, only we need to start the backup jobs, right? So if you start the backup at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., what will happen? So everyone connect to the servers, right? Developers, testers, right? So backup happened through network only. So when you start, if you start the backup at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., so network traffic will be increased, right? So that is why after business hours only we can configure the backups. So that what will happen? No one will get the disturbance, right? Normally, so when we start the backup, network traffic drastically increased. By the time no one can connect to the servers, they can't connect because due to traffic. So by the time network team, what they will do, they shoot some emails. So traffic is bandwidth is increased. Could you please stop the backup? So if you don't stop the backup, what they will do, they kill the backup. Okay.
So is
So
there
this is it.
any job run for this?
Yeah, we create the jobs. Yes, we
Okay.
schedule.
So we will also learn how to create job here.
Yes, yes, yes. Practically, we'll
Okay.
see that. Practically, we'll see that. Okay. Yeah. Next one, weekly backup. So this is the full backup. Full backup, right? So here retention is 90 days. So here, yeah, all VM backups we take, all VM backups, and databases we take here, and some critical apps also we can take. So this will be happened every Friday, 8 p.m. So these are the standard strategies every project team they following, right? Every Friday, 8 p.m. it will start, end up by next day morning, 5 a.m. Okay. Yeah, monthly backup also same. It is also full backup. Retention is same, 90 days. So here in monthly backup, so all backups, every backup, right? So happened here. So monthly backup normally we start every month first Friday, right? Start at 6 p.m. only, first Friday of month, and end up by next day morning. Okay, yeah. So why we require three backups? We can use only one backup also, right? Why we require three backups here? Because if any data is missing from daily backup, we can retrieve from the weekly backup. If any data is missing from the weekly backup, we can retrieve from the monthly backup, right? And one more backup is there, which is on-demand backup. So what is on-demand? Immediately,
Whenever need.
instant, right? So why we require on-demand backup? Why we required? So if when you start weekly backup or monthly backup or daily backup, if any backup is failed, which is very critical, by the time immediately you can run the on-demand backup. For example, one production server backup is failed due to server issue. We get alert, right? By the time instantly we can run the on-demand backup, which is very critical. That is why we can run on-demand backup instantly. That will be happen. So one server is only one server. It is fine. We can run, but entire weekly backup, monthly backup, we should not run business hours. Run in business hours. If you run in business hours, network traffic will be increase, right? So these are the four important backup strategies available. So most of the organizations, most of the project teams are using the standard strategies. So these are all the services will go deep dive. So EBS volume S3, EFS, Glacier, snapshots, right? So practically we'll see that. Practically we can create the resources, we can create the backups. Clear, right, everyone? Yeah, so still we have
Yes.
few more services are there. Elastic IPs, security groups also there. security groups. Security groups. What is security group? What are the use of security group? Right? Security group is a virtual firewall. Virtual firewall. To protect our network, to protect our resource, we use the security groups. We can create custom security groups. So to allow deny inbound traffic, we can use the security groups. Security group is a virtual firewall to control the traffic. Inbound, outbound traffic, we use the security groups. Okay, and the elastic IP is also there. Here, elastic IP addresses. Okay, how to create elastic IP, how to assign the elastic IP to the server, we'll see practically, right? And also notification services are there. SNS, SPS, simple notification service, simple queue service, different services are there. We'll go through this. Okay, yeah. So tomorrow we'll start EC2, which is first service. Elastic Compute Cloud is the first service, which is very important service. Okay, we start with EC2 tomorrow. Okay, so EC2 will take 3 days. 3 days. Okay, so once complete the EC2, then we'll jump into Linux. Once complete the Linux, then we'll continue the storage services, networking services, monitoring services, right? Notification services, right? One by one we'll go. Fine. Yeah, tomorrow meeting link will be completely changed. Okay, already 7 sessions completed today. 7th session today, right? So tomorrow, yeah, link will be changed. Even classroom guys also, whoever not clear the fee can make it by today itself. Okay, tomorrow they will not allow, right?
Sir, I do have some doubts. Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So the one first question is the one which you said the snapshot and the AWS backup. So they seems like are they same or like means you said
Right.
that, like we can take the replica of this thing and then here also you said like we can take the backup of that AWS stuff.
Snapshot is a binary copy. Yeah, for temporary purpose, use the snapshot. So yeah, 1 week or 1 month required. The backup 1 week or 1 month required. So by the time we can go with the snapshot. So if the project team required more than 3 months, more than 6 months, the backup, you can move to Glacier, right?
Okay.
And the daily backups, that is different. Daily, weekly, monthly backup, those are the strategies. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And sir, one more question regarding the disaster recovery you said. So
Mhm.
how to manage the disaster recovery actually in the if there will be any project or something? Like how
We
we're,
don't,
are we going to
yeah,
manage it or like we are going to configure it something? Is there any
no, no,
way?
no. We don't manage anything. AWS will take care of that. Disaster recovery. We need to coordinate with the AWS. If any data center is down, we need to raise a case with the AWS. They will take care of that, right? Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
fine. Yeah, so we can wind up here. Any other questions, anyone? So from tomorrow onwards, practically we see the all services, right? Practically we can work on this. So theoretically, first 10 minutes, 15 minutes we can discuss theoretically. So after that we'll enter into console and we can create the resources. So tomorrow onwards you need to practice. Okay, you require laptop, right? So you need to practice daily basis so that you can easily track your entry within 3 months. So don't skip the practice. So make sure you can create the account today itself. So tomorrow onwards you need to practice. Fine. Yeah. So we can wind up here.